Smoke show for the two. Alexes have a big fist. Ask my hole. Yes.
Try to relax your anus.
Okay, Mutahar. Mutahar. Let's see what you decided to do here, buddy.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mutahar, and let's just talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. I made a mistake. I ended up buying that Nintendo Switch 2, even though
you shouldn't have done it. You fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. You fell for it. You made all these videos. You made all this content. And what you did was you went out and you bought it anyways.
Expose, 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 expose,
crazy.
Expose, expose.
At least for Tanga had his friend buy it. At least for Tanga had his friend buy it. You went out and you bought it yourself. You fell for the hype. Nasty work. All right, let's see Mutahar get sad and get snort. Yeah, let's see Mutahar get sad, because apparently he's a sad boy. He said, "Hey, please don't be mad at me. I wasn't trying to be deceitful. I'm not a bad boy." That's what Mutahar's saying. Let's see it.
So I said that I was going to hold off. I wasn't just going to go buy it outright.
Right.
And there I was, going on a midnight release.
What?
Release, and I ended up picking it, just on a walk-in. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, there's no way to sugarcoat or cut around this. I did, in fact, commit a hypocrisy. I made a mistake. I should have not bought this product. Now,
yeah. Basically, the only good thing a YouTuber has is their word. And if you can't stand by your word, then what the fuck are we doing?
His comments roasted him harder than my pipe.
Okay, well, check out his comment, Smoke Show. But that's the thing. Like, you have your word. That's all people can take you on. And if you fall back on that, why should anybody listen to you? Let the video play. I will, Lansville. This is how we do reactions, bro. It's fun.
Made a few videos on the Switch 2. Well, not a few, several.
Yep.
And I've basically covered it. I've not been the most positive viewer of it, especially around certain things like those game key cards, and especially about their
Kinky Taco says, "I'm sad Daddy Alex didn't stretch my hole apart." Yet.
Try to relax your anus.
True. Darkstar says never apologize. It always makes things worse. Yeah, or like give yourself the opportunity to be like, I want to test it for you guys. I don't recommend buying it. I'm going to buy it, test it, and return it. That's it.
POS, when apparently it seems like they can just brick your systems, and more specifically around the fact that maybe the system is in fact a brick when you ended up picking it up. Now, as you all know, yesterday I made a pretty big mistake. I actually made a video with the Switch 2 inside the actual frame. I actually had one on screen. I bought one. I used it to play Cyberpunk 2077 on it. Now,
why does that sound like it's sarcasm? You see what I'm saying, chat? Like, that sounds like really sarcastic. I'm just saying. Yeah, I got that too, that it was almost like sarcasm. Yeah.
Now, the reason why this was a pretty big mistake, and I do absolutely believe I should actually apologize to my audience, is...
Okay, never mind. It's not. It just came off that way.
I didn't practice what I preached, you know?
True.
I said, you should vote with your wallet. And what did
True.
I do? I straight up charged my card and got the Switch 2.
Yep.
And for that, it's actually a pretty big apology. Like, there's no way to really say anything. There's no really any way to sugarcoat it. It's an actual mistake. You know, you can sit and blame other people, but ultimately, you know, I think the community kind of made it known that I would be one of those gamers that would fall into FOMO. And even though that I don't personally think that I'm the reason that video games have just gotten more expensive, ultimately, the actions that I did do contribute to the fact that video games would have gotten more expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, it's that signal that happens to so many people and so many corporations that are like, well, the majority of people, 51% of them were like, we're just going to buy it anyways. So fuck everybody else. They're buying it. Who gives a shit? If we charge 10 more bucks for each person that buys it, that'll make up for the people that didn't buy it. So who gives a shit about it? And that's kind of crazy. I may buy a Switch when Bonanza releases. I think the best time to buy a Switch would be, so like, I would be okay with buying a Switch if they removed the credit card needed for the C button, if they just put that flat out in there. If they didn't do the bricking of your console, they changed that terms of service, and they gave you the option to buy, well, I guess the game key cards. Well, the game key card thing is fucked up completely. No, just get an emulator instead, y'all. Just get an emulator. Just wait for the emulator instead. Like, the game key card is the worst part about all of it. Like, the bricking of the game key card, that's where I'm just like, you guys fucking lost me. Like, you guys all fucking lost me. Like, you had it in the bag, bro. You had it in the fucking bag. And what you did was you do a game key card, so I don't even own the fucking product. You then can brick my console, so I don't even own the console. Then you put a button on there for credit card. Like, I'm just like, no, dude. There's too many things about it. Like, I have a Switch 1. And it's fine, right? But I'd rather emulate my games anyways. So it's like,
is Steam Deck a good PS2 emulator with a controller?
oh, absolutely, Smoke Show. It's one of the best. Yes, bro. Yes. Blast says, I'll buy one when they bring price of games down, get rid of game key cards, make interesting games, and of course, give me Xenoblade at 60 FPS. Yeah, I think that'll be an option. I would also just emulate right now, Blast, if you want to just Xenoblade at 60 FPS. Game prices have to go down. The game key card thing, I'm like torn on that, honestly. And removing fixing the TOS is like like some of the big ones. Flat out. The lack of control and price ratios what broke my hype for it. Yeah, agreed, Anthony. Yeah.
Or at least the aspect of it would become more normalized. And ultimately, there's really no other way to...
Kevin, they're in the Discord.
You know, just apologize and say that I'll do better moving forward, you know? And to be fair, the biggest sigh of relief for me is to sit over here and apologize for purchasing a video game system, right? There's a lot of things that a YouTuber can do that would be very illegal, very wrong, ethically, not even just legally, that I could sit down here and apologize for. And that is the only thing that I've really thanked God today for not doing. You know, I could apologize for far more worse, but...
Yeah, but that doesn't... what's that logical fallacy called, chat? It's not straw manning. Basically, he's saying like, oh, it's not that bad because it could have been way worse things. No, I don't think it's sunk cost, is it? Oh, yeah, he's definitely downplaying it. Agreed. He's definitely minimizing it. Yeah, like, oh, well, it could be way worse, you guys. I don't think... Is it a devil's bargain? No, it's not slippery slope. Whataboutism? Is it straw manning? False equivalency. I think, it probably could fall under false equivalency.
But, you know, realistically, it's just apologizing for purchasing the system that, you know, I kind of made a big hullabaloo about, right? And obviously, gaming boycotts are something that unfortunately traditionally do not work just because people end up buying them. And in this case, I was one of those people.
Yeah, we had it with the Modern War 2, like the Modern Warfare 2, like PC thing. Like, don't buy Modern Warfare 2, and everybody bought it, and they were playing it on Steam. When they said not to buy it on Steam, like it was just exposed.
Now, I do want to kind of defend myself a little bit and just kind of talk about this, you know, because I don't want to just say that, you know, I don't want to just say sorry. I do want to give an explanation. Obviously, that night I was coming home, bought a Switch, and one of the reasons I wanted to buy the Switch is to kind of look at that brick capability. I wanted to see if you can fire the system up, you can make a local account, you can connect without, you know, utilizing any patches. And thankfully you actually can, you know, as long as you have a Switch 2 and of course a game, which this is something that I'm actually keeping stock, or not just actually, I had a Cyberpunk 2077.
Well, I mean, all you had to do was make a video saying, hey, don't buy the Switch 2. I'm going to test it first and we're going to see what happens, because these are concerning things for me. Then nobody would have been mad that you bought a Switch 2, because you're going to test it. I mean, that's really what it is. You could have been like, here are some of the things that we're seeing in the TOS. Here's what's happening. I'm going to buy a Switch 2. I'm going to test it, and then I'm going to return it. Relative privation fallacy. I've never heard of that, Churro Bear. Yeah, Darkstar, he bought it because he wanted it. That's all up. Hey, guys, I'm sorry, but you know what? I bought it because I wanted it. That's what it is. Like, that's all it is. You're right, Darkstar. You're 100% right on that.
As long as you have a game with an actual, you know, completed update on the cartridge, this system is completely usable offline, which was
perverse. YouTube does that sometimes. Yeah, it'll auto delete comments. It'll also auto delete like chats sometimes. It's not. It happens, but you're fine. I see it right now.
It's pretty important to me because I didn't want to see another system release as a pure on brick. So as long as you have a system with, again, a video game, it seems things can just work out of the box. Now, as far as Switch 1 stuff goes, that still needed you to patch for getting the backwards compatibility going in. But if you were just buying Switch 2 games, then surprisingly, everything just worked out of the box.
Wouldn't that be the case where if you bought a Switch 2 game, that would give you the patch and then you can play the Switch 1 games? Is that how that works? Or do you still have to be online to get the patch for Switch 1 games? He could have waited for somebody else to report on it. Yeah. Like, fucking, does it play? Oh, it requires the online. So there's not even the patch in a Switch 2 game? Some games come with the patch and some don't. I swear to God. This is why, don't even buy it. Like, that's why I'm like, don't even fucking buy it. Just like, fuck it. Like, if it's that bad. You pay $10 for upgraded Switch games. Yeah, dude.
The other thing I wanted to see was, again, the functionality of these games too, especially one game completed on the system. And for that, I played Cyberpunk 2077. In fact, that was a pretty massive section of the video where I just showed the game actually running for anybody to come into the video, watch, and see. Now, I could make the video overly negative, or I could make it overly positive, but the reason I just kind of went the way that I did was I wanted to just objectively look at this product as what it was and talk about things, right? And, you know, one of the things that I kind of read was like, the grifter stuff. You were just grifting on that hate. Well, if I was grifting on the hate and I released that, you know, video, I would probably be overly negative, or I would try to spread some level of misinformation to garner more viewership on hating the device or loving the device. But
so I'm guessing he means before, when he made the videos, people were calling him a grifter to grift on like hating the console. I can see that. I've been called that. And so you're like, should I be more negative or should I be more positive on it? Sorry, chat. I'm sorry for yawning.
But in reality, I just wanted to cover things from an objective perspective. I wanted to show that there were some games, Cyberpunk 2077, which worked out of the box day one. Now, there is like one other game, or, you know, I think actually...
So why didn't he just say that during the content being made? Alex said, sorry, it's over. Fuck. L in the chat. L in the chat. It's over. It's over, chat. Put an L.
Actually 3 other games, all from Nintendo, that all come pretty much on the cartridge, being Mario Kart World, Legend of Zelda, both Legend of Zeldas, and they all just come pretty much without that game key card stuff. So one of the things that I didn't do in that video was obviously buy the game key card stuff. Like, I didn't go out into the store and purchase those gimped copies that I was speaking so much against, which again, I only really bought the system and the one game that was of any interest to me, just so I can show it in the video. And ultimately, regardless of what I'm saying over here, all of that is still a mistake.
I'm sorry.
I was hypocritical. I bought a device that, you know, I actually shouldn't have. I contributed to, unfortunately, a bad practice in the gaming industry, right? Which was...
You know what? He's admitting it, and he's flat out saying it, and he's calling himself being a hypocrite, so that's good. The beginning sounded a little bit wonky, but it sounds like he's just being flat out about it right now.
Supporting this Nintendo system.
It's a tax write-off for him, though. Yeah, but that's not how tax write-offs work. like he doesn't just get free money, you know? Like, it's not like he just gets free money for doing it. Like, that's not how that operates. Like, you still have to spend your money on your taxes. Just the amount you pay has to hit a certain threshold of how much you spend for your business every year. And then you get like a discount on your taxes for that year. It's not like you just get it removed from your fucking total.
Of both Switch 1 and 2 and compare them.
Yeah, Giovanni, true. Thank you for the 5. Yeah. He's in Canada. I don't know what their Canada stuff is like.
When people bought games in the 90s, nobody believed you owned the rights to those games. Nobody thought you can clone copies of it, but we did believe that games will work as long as we don't damage it.
Well, I think, Ray, thank you for the 1. I think everybody was like, I own it, it's mine, you know, and they can still make copies of it too, so.
I did want to cover it from a review perspective. I did want to cover it just from the preservationist perspective to see if a lot of those alarm bells that were ringing literally days before the system was actually launching were actually valid alarm bells. But ultimately, look, at the end of the day, there's nothing I can say to, you know, not accept actual fault at purchasing the system when I made a big hullabaloo about it. And ultimately, for that, I do completely apologize. There's no joke, no fun you can make in this manner. I feel like ultimately, I do have to apologize for that, and that's what I do. Now, if you're somebody that, you know, is, you know, looking at me and, you know, you don't want to watch my videos anymore because you don't like me anymore because of the Switch 2 stuff, then, you know, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to wave by. We're going to have to wave by at each other.
I don't think that'll be the case. I think what'll happen is people will say, like, take what you say, especially your criticism of the gaming industry in a more critical fashion, rather than being like, yup, that's my boy, that's my muta. I think that's the big difference, is that when I say we, not we, is that the gaming industry or the gaming commentary community has had a very prominent person who is very pro-consumer now sort of like, I wouldn't say fuck everything up, but put more criticism on that when people try to be like pro-consumer on things, if that makes sense. I'm tired. What I'm trying to say is he's made it more difficult for people to believe people who are actually pro-consumer, and it's made things like my job harder now. Does that make sense? Why is it doing this?
Actual fault at purchasing the system when I made a big hullabaloo about it. And like that, right? I wanted to see if in this 80, 90 bucks, 70 bucks, whatever, to buy external media for the system effectively down the road, at least for fully completed titles, was actually there. Now, obviously, there isn't any way to preserve video games anymore. And you know, for me, as somebody that's made tons of videos on countering misinformation regarding game preservation, when people
and I think that's the point people are like more upset about, is like, you've made all this. It's like if I turned around myself and I was like, guys, I bought a 5090. Like, that wouldn't... Y'all would be like, what? Huh? Good night, Jawbreaker. Yeah, exactly. Ice Kurt wouldn't even blink. I appreciate. Yeah, true. Like, that's how it would be. It's like if I was like, guys, I bought a 5090. Check it out. Like, y'all would be like, what the fuck?
People talk about, like, you know, how every disc nowadays is
That's
a
true.
digital
Oh my God.
download, and there really isn't any way to preserve video games anymore. And I have made videos where I've talked about this. I've corrected the misinformation. You know, for me, the Switch 2 was kind of like that, right? I wanted to see if in this situation, game preservation, at least for fully completed titles, was actually there. Now, obviously, I did make a point in that video, if you watch it, where I said, you know, when this device has 256 gigs on it, you know, buying game key cards, you know, already completely incomplete copies, you're going to be basically downloading and filling your entire new system up with just like, what, 4 or 5 games effectively down the road. And that's going to become a pretty huge problem, not just for game preservation, but for the average person that, you know, probably isn't also going to spend 80.
Bro, what the fuck?
You're going to be basically downloading and filling your entire new system up with just like, what, 4 or 5 games effectively down the road.
Yeah.
And that's going to become a pretty huge problem, not just for game preservation, but for the average person that, you know, probably isn't also going to spend 80, 90 bucks, 70 bucks, whatever, to buy external media for the system. These are all things that I did talk about in the video, and these were kind of the most important things for me too. The other thing was obviously seeing how a game like Cyberpunk
tired, that's all-
2077
yeah,
could
true.
run on
Yeah, I'm fucking exhausted, chat.
You'd
We
never
got a big
hear
stream
the end
tomorrow.
of if that happened.
Exactly, Dragon Claw. Thank you for the 2.
a newer ARM-based chip device. Now, ultimately, as part of my apology, all I can really say is, look, at the end, I am sorry. I probably shouldn't have contributed to Nintendo's dog shit in video gaming, but ultimately I did. And, you know, I'm one of the bad people in this process. Now, do I think that I'm the most evil person in the world? No, I don't think that. And I don't even see really anybody saying that. But as far as being hypocritical and bad for gaming, I can definitely see how I've contributed to that. And for that, I just really humbly apologize.
So just return the Switch 2. Just go return it. Just go return it.
Tapping out, but just wanted to say that you're the most entertaining creator that I've come across.
Thank you, bro. I
So
appreciate
much
that.
so to where you are the first and only creator I've super chatted.
Holy shit!
You popped my SC cherry.
Holy shit, dude. Jesus Christ, Kiss. Thank you for the 10, bro. And thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate that. It's a lot. It's a lot. I try to make it as entertaining as I possibly can, which is why the stream is so fucking insane all the time and why I'm exhausted after 5 hours.
There's no if, and, or but around
But
it.
thank
It
you, bro.
is
Thank you so
just
much.
a straight apology to anybody that felt slighted, hurt, or disappointed in this entire process. For that, my community is pretty important to me.
I think disappointed is more of it, actually, more than like slighted or hurt. I think people are just like, can I trust what you're saying from now on, Muda, because of your behavior of like, oh, okay, well, you're just going to buy the fucking thing anyways, regardless of whatever you say out of your mouth. Like, that's kind of the thing people are kind of angry at. And it makes other people that, like, you know, like myself, not making it about me, but, you know, people are going to be like, we're just going to buy it anyways. Why are you even fucking saying this shit in the first place, bro? You're just a fucking hypocrite. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
To me. And ultimately, I really did feel
Also,
like, because I
Alex,
had
when you say piracy is a service problem, the question is, then why do games on Steam get pirated? The answer to that is because of Steam Unlocked. Steam Unlocked is basically just free Steam.
Because of Steam Unlocked. I don't even know what that is, Ray. The games on Steam get pirated because price is also a service problem. Because the issue with Steam's service directly is that a lot of game companies do not adjust their game prices for the region they're selling them to. And they keep it locked at USD. So 80 American USD is not 80 Canadian or 80 Brazilian. It is like $90 to $100 Canadian or $1,000 Brazilian. Like that's where the service problem comes in. They're not providing a proper service for the customer. And that's where that issue comes from. It is a service problem. Yeah.
At a platform, and I could talk a little bit about the game preservation angle. Maybe it was worth showing.
Regional pricing is a literal service that is an issue that they are not following.
To me, if there was something really scathing about it in this device, it would have been a completely warranted purchase, because then I could at least alert some people that, yeah, this thing is actually a confirmed brick. Yes, actually, all these games, even the ones that ship completely on cart, don't just work day one. These would be...
Now, if you just would have said that in your video, like, hey guys, I'm going to buy it to test it to make sure this thing happens, or, you know, I want to make sure you're informed properly, then that's, you know, like you could say, oh, here's the issues that I'm having with it. What I want to do is I want to pick one up. I want to do the perfect, like the experience, and report back to you guys and see what's going on. And that way you guys know and have an informed purchase. Gavin, thank you for the follow, bro. I appreciate that. I think that's really what it is. You know? That's kind of like the problem that we're seeing right here. Gavin says I look dumb as fuck. True. Low testosterone beard? Yes. Patchy ass beard? Yes. Sounds like a money issue? True. Totally broke, Gavin. I have no money, no bitches, low T, bad beard. You got me. You got me.
Pretty huge points. But when I actually got the device and I tested it myself, I couldn't find that to be the case. So it was really just to be honestly reporting on something versus, you know, maybe raising more misinformation and hurting myself down the road a lot harder than, you know, the hurt that I've taken right now. Yeah. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. I can just look into the camera and just say, I'm sorry, I'll do better. And that's pretty much all it comes down to. And the only thing I'm really thankful about here is I could be apologizing for, like, as a YouTuber, there's apology videos that I've watched through my career where people have done really terrible things. And
where's the ukulele? Where is the ukulele?
From what I researched, Steam Unlocked is a torrent site that happens to be free Steam. Go take a look if you think I'm making this up.
I'll take a look at it, bro. Thanks, man.
Ultimately, this might be one of the worst things that I've done. What genuinely is support bad game practices and, you know, not practice what I preach. I can't make videos where I say I'm not going to be buying a Nintendo Switch, you know, day one at least.
And then buy it.
Here I am buying it day one. Even if personally I felt making the content and at least if I could find something scathing about it, I could talk about, sure. But for me, I'm still...
Yeah, but like I said, if you would have said that in your videos, everybody would be expecting that video now. It's like we were talking about the other day with the whole Black Myth Wukong thing, where everybody was like, oh, it guaranteed wasn't money hatted by Sony. And it's like, you're not even going to give yourself a possible out. You're going to put 10 toes down behavior on this. Are you sure you're making this bet without knowing the full info? Are you really sure? You want to put your credibility on this 100%? Like give yourself, like I said it, give yourself a little wiggle room, give yourself an out just to be like, well, maybe they did. You know, like, yeah, 10 toes down. Like, holy shit, bro.
Not somebody that is in line to be, I guess, known as a hypocrite in this regard. And for that, I do apologize. I've done something wrong, which is purchasing the device after the hullabaloo that I've raised.
Yeah.
And for that, all I can do is honestly just apologize.
There you go.
Really, that's all I can do. So if you accept this apology, great. If you don't accept this apology, then it is what it is.
I just think it's going to hurt people who are very pro-consumer in the long run, and that's going to be the factor. I think that's going to be the problem.
Mutahar could have just went live at the store.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just said in the videos he was going to test it.
But, yeah, you know. Our word is really all we have. That's really what it comes down to.
What did I say, chat? What did I say, chat? Our word is all we have. And if we can't stick to our word as a YouTuber or as a content creator, that's all we got. I said it. I fucking said it right in the beginning.
Down to. What I will not apologize for is purchasing and keeping Cyberpunk 2077 on the Switch. I really feel like even if you're not buying the Nintendo Switch 2 and you've got the money, you should probably signal to the industry that buying a completed Switch game, or buying a complete product on launch with all the DLC onto it is something that should be supported, right? Especially considering that.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about just buying the game. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. You could just get a Game of the Year edition to be fine. Just don't be a day one FOMO.
A lot of games release with tons of great expansion packs that never end up showing up on actual release anymore. Like, they don't get re-released down the road. It used to be back in the day that when a game launched a year later after...
You don't even look at OBS when you're doing this?
Like 3-4 single-player expansions, you ended up getting like a Game of the Year
edition.
Turn off the autofocus. Now you still get the Game of the Year edition, but sometimes, in most cases...
People call me a lazy content creator. Holy shit. People call me lazy in my content. Holy shit, dude. Goddamn.
Cases, you end up getting like a little piece of paper inside with a code that doesn't even have the whole game. So yeah, for that, I will never actually truly apologize for this, nor will I ever apologize for picking up games like Stalker, which are these completed Japanese re-releases of 3 games on 1 cartridge. But anyways, I'm kind of talking and talking in circles, really. Apologize for the Switch 2 stuff. Didn't practice what I preached there. And all I can say is I'm sorry, and I'll do better. Simple as that.
All right. Okay. So, personally, 6.5 out of 10 apology. That's what I'm thinking, Chad. 6.5 out of 10. Yeah. It's not the best. An IGN 7? Oof. That mood apology was not good. Meyerhoof, thank you for the 14 months. -3 out of 10. Holy shit. Poll it? Yeah, let's poll it. Start a poll. Muda apology. We'll do A, B, C, or D. A, B, C, or D. Go. Go, go, go. Make a Suno song about him? Yeah, right. Thank you for the 1 comment. Whoa! Whoa! Holy shit!
Yeah, I can discard him as someone to watch then.
Y'all are savage. I love democracy. I do too. He did, Wire Rope. He did. Did they cook the poll? We're doing it right now, Parmiki. Let's go. All right, let's go see it. The poll's closed. 44% said it was a C tier apology. I have to agree. I have to agree. I have to fucking agree. I agreed it was a C tier 6.5 out of 10 apology. Agreed. I think it could have been infinitely better. I feel like he could have just avoided all of this together if he just would have said, hey guys, here are my concerns with the Switch 2. Here's all the problems. I'm going to pick one up and I'm going to make a video showcasing what I find. That way you guys can be informed consumers. And if it's bad, I'm going to return it. And if it's good, I'll keep it. That's all he had to say. That's literally it. That's all he had to do. That's all he had to say. You know, he could do it at the end of the video and be like, guys, look, here's what we have. Here's what it is. So please stop calling me that because it's wrong. That's it. That's literally it.